Yo, what is going on, everyone? I am James, aka the Comic Raider, and I'm back with another video, back with another movie review. I know it's like all I do on this channel. I promise I'm not gonna promise. I definitely should have some comic book content dropping this weekend, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, another movie review. Just got out of Weapons. I was very excited and hyped to see this movie, and we're just gonna go over it and my thoughts. I'm gonna try to make this one short and sweet, really, but yeah, let's get into it. So, if you're new here, we do non-spoiler, and then I will jump into spoiler at a point at which I announce that I'm jumping into spoilers. So, non-spoiler, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought that it was well done. I liked the story and the way in which the story's told. You know, the trailer basically gives you what you need to know to be intrigued, as far as 17 kids wake up in the middle of the night at 2:17 a.m. and they all run out of their house and they do this creepy little run outside, and it's like, well, why did they do that? And of course, that's why you watch the movie, is to find out the why. So, I thought, keeping it non-spoiler, I like the way in which they not only told the story, it's very different than what you're used to seeing in a lot of movies, and then the story itself, has some things that the trailer doesn't show you, and that is something that I can definitely appreciate, because then you don't fully know what you're getting into when you're watching this movie. So I really liked all that. You've got a great acting performances by some really good actors. You've got, well, a bunch of MCU actors, funny. But yeah, you got Benedict Wong, you have Julia Gardner, and you have Josh Brolin. And there's also some good acting from kids. And it was just, yeah, it was solid. I definitely would recommend going to watch it. So it's a horror movie, so of course, okay, well, is it scary? It has some jump scares, which I really liked how they were done. Did I like jump out of my seat? No, but you get the ooh, okay, and so I liked that. The movie is also just very creepy. It's got kids involved. It's got a mystery involved as to how and why, and it definitely does a great job of building that creepiness throughout. I would say, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is a very scary movie, or like, I'm not gonna go that far. Again, I got my jump scares that I wanted. I got a very creepy movie. I would say it's creepy rather than scary. But it's still really good though. I'm not saying that to deter you away from the movie. It's still very good. Um, and honestly, I guess that's really all I can say for non-spoiler. I will go ahead and take this opportunity to shout out the lady that was behind us. She was one of those that had to comment at a lot of parts of the movie. Something happens and, oh my god, oh my gosh, oh my god, and or oh, don't go in there, don't do that, but then the movie's over, and she's like talking loudly of like, it wasn't that good. Honestly, I didn't really like it. Like, honestly, it wasn't even that good. Like, honestly, it had like 3 jump scares, and like, honestly, it just wasn't even good. And so that is a dead on impersonation, for the record. But yeah, anyways, shout out that lady. I'm sorry that you had a terrible time. I enjoyed it, but I think a lot of us in the theater enjoyed it except for her. But hey, man, you can't please everybody. So that is it for. Oh gosh, rating. Like I said, I really liked it. it's one of those movies where I really liked it and I don't really have much to complain about. Maybe it's a tiny bit slow for a little bit as it kind of sets up the story, but like honestly, that's not that big of a deal. And so yeah, I mean, I guess like 4 out of 5. Shout out Johnny for the 5 scale. I hate doing it though. 4 out of 5 on like a 10 scale CGC. I go like, see, I can't say 9.2 or 9.4 because I hate 9.2 and 9.4. You all know this. Am I ready to give it a 9.6 though? I might have to do like 9.4, but it's signed by Benedict Wong and Josh Brolin and Julia Garner. So I got a triple signature 9.4, in which case I like it because it's, unique, which the movie is unique, by the way. The story is unique, the way in which the story is told is unique, all of that. And so yeah, something like that, to where for me I can, with my 9.4 bias, I can be like, all right, but it's triple sign, like of course I'm going to keep this and really really enjoy this. So that's where I'm at with that. I really did enjoy it. I do recommend going to see it. Ooh, okay. So I also like to always tell people you have to see it in theaters. If you're a horror film fan, if you like scary movies, if you like creepy movies, if you like unique, original movies, you know, I didn't watch this movie going like, I've seen this. Like, it was very unique. And so if you're a fan of any of that kind of stuff and you love the cinema, then yes, go watch it. If you're more like, if you're one of those people that like never goes to the movies, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is the one that you gotta go check out. I'm not gonna say that to you. But I think if you like the movies, if you like horror movies, if you enjoy seeing them in theaters more than not, then yeah, for sure. I mean, it builds the creepiness, it builds the tension, it builds the jump scares because that's what the theater does. That's the power of cinema, the magic of the movies. And so yeah, I liked that. But yeah, so that's it for non-spoiler. Let's do some spoiler real quick, and like I said, we'll try to make this one a quick one because I'm not gonna like go over the entire plot like I sometimes do. So we are now in spoiler zone. So in the spoiler zone, we're just gonna start with the story. I think that I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed that. Again, you knew the premise was these kids leaving at 2:17 a.m., but like, how did they leave? What caused them to leave? The fact that they, again, we're in spoilers, people. The fact that they like did not tell you that there was a antagonist in this movie was awesome. Like an actual person antagonist. As far as like the trailer goes and the build up for it. Now, granted, I didn't watch like the last couple trailers because I avoided them, but I don't think it showed any of that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really cool to get the character of Gladys in there, and you get this witch, and that was solid. That was really good. I liked that. I liked the creativeness of the jump scares. The whole like building that tension, and just when you think you're safe, she leans back, she looks up, boom, you're gonna, ooh, okay, that got me. That was great. I liked the Josh Brolin one. I knew that was coming in the dream at some point. It still makes you wait and wait and wait, and it kind of gets you like when you're not expecting it as much, and it was just good. So I liked the jump scares that it had. It didn't overly rely on them, but they're there. The creepiness factor throughout the whole entire movie, because they're like, what are they? Are they zombies? Are they, in a trance? Like, what are they? Why are they like this? And so I really loved the creepiness factor to it all, building up to the big, climax scene and all that. And it was done really well. Now, to that point, like, the telling of the story breaking it up into, we'll call them character chapters, and giving you a linear story, but then you get to the next person, and then it kind of like, well, we're gonna jump back to like maybe 3/4 of the story that you just saw, give you the other perspective, and then we're gonna continue it on, further. And it just like I liked it. I was like, okay, this is different, but I like this, and so it was good. It was really really good. I really liked how they did that. It made it different. You already had a unique movie with the story itself. Then you added that factor to make it even more unique, and I can appreciate that. And so yeah, and then character wise, like I said, I mean Josh Brolin's great. Playing that he was probably not the best father. He definitely regrets that now that his kid is gone, and so he is just obsessing at despite it truly affecting everything else in his life, of his refusal to move on, and he just wants to find his kid. And Julia Garner plays a great, like, very overbearing but caring teacher, and the way in which they kind of tell you about her character with the ex boyfriend, and it was just it was stuff like that that I really really liked. So she was great in it. The little boy that's playing Alex did a great job, especially when his time came. Mostly that third act. Gladys in the third act. I mean, just and as much as I complained about the pothead stoner in Jurassic World recently, I really liked the tweaker in this movie. Like, it was done well. That's how you make a character like that without it being annoying. It was like he had his funniness, Excuse me. So I liked it. It just, yeah, I mean, character wise, Gladys, I think I already said that, but Gladys was, as soon as she comes on the scene, you're just like, oh, what the fuck? I mean, you've already basically kind of seen her at this point, but you're just like, whoa, that is wild. But through this obvious clown Joker-ish, there's something there, right? There's something there, and so that was great. And yeah, I mean the whole premise of her being the witch and her with the sticks and just all of that is so good. Builds that tension, builds that creepiness. The scene with Benedict Wong taking out his boyfriend is just, or boyfriend, husband, partner, we'll say, just brutal, man. That was crazy. And I love how, like, you got that after you'd already seen him go crazy in the store. And it just, yeah. And then the whole Alex and his family and how Gladys is it just, the story was great, man. The story was great. I really, really enjoyed every aspect of it. Thought it was done well. Man, it was awesome. Now, probably the last thing I guess I'm going to talk about. Well, one thing before I get to that, I do still have like some questions, right? Like and I kind of like that. I guess it makes me like think about the movie more. Like what the first one that comes to mind. What was up with the AR on top of Matthew's house or whoever's house that was in Josh Brolin's dream sequence? Like, I understand that that's to allude that they're a weapon. Is that what we're doing? We're just saying like, oh yeah, they're being utilized as a weapon, I guess. So like that part's a little still confusing. And then and maybe I just missed something. And then the other one is like, and again, I don't need it. I don't need these things answered. Like, it's cool to have that mystery. But why did Gladys need to do what she did? What, when she says like, oh, I was hoping to be healed by the family, but I wasn't, so now I need these kids. Like, does she gain power by going after these people? Is she trying to eliminate people and she gets something in return, more power to keep going? What is it that, like, what's her motive? What's her purpose of this whole thing? And but yeah, but I mean, like I said, other than that being you know, I think I think they allude to it, and I'm just supposed to take it at its word that like, yeah, she's getting some healing from this, or I don't know, or I missed something. But either way, I don't care what the explanation is. I still like it, still dig it. And then, so the last thing I really want to touch on is, and I didn't want to do this in the non-spoiler part because I want to keep it. If I said it, it would be a spoiler, even if I don't give you any description. But the fact that I laughed as the theater laughed as much as we did in this movie totally caught off guard because I don't think you get an ounce of that from the trailer. That there is going to be some comedy involved in here, and there is a lot of parts that I found funny, and the whole entire ending scene of finally turning the kids against Gladys and the chase scene. It's so funny, dude. It is so funny, but so funny, and then it ends in such a violent way, and I think that that's just perfect. And I think that it just made, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed that even though this is so serious and so creepy and people coming out of the house, adults, it wasn't just children that can, be affected by this thing. It was adults, and it was good. And I was shocked that I laughed as much as I did, but I love that I did because it just added another element to an already great movie. So, yeah, I don't think there's really that much else to say. I mean, without, like I said, just dissecting every single part of the story, but like, it was good, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that movie a lot. And I'll just leave it at that. If you do see it, let me know your thoughts below. Non-spoiler, of course, or hit me up on IG at the Comic Raider. We can definitely chat about the movie or any of the movies that are on here. If you do comment, just know that I'm most likely I most likely make these videos on Thursday nights at midnight. And so I go right to bed after I upload it, usually. And then Fridays and Saturdays, I usually work. And if you leave me a comment, I want to do you the courtesy of giving you a real response. I like to read your comment and then respond to like every point that you made if I can, and just have like a genuine response and conversation. I say all that because someone had left a comment on my previous video and I was at work when I got it, so I didn't really I skimmed it, but I was like, I'm gonna go back and read this when I have time and can fully commit to giving this person the response that they deserve. And then when I went on the next day, they had deleted the comment. Now, maybe that was an accident, maybe that was intentional, maybe I'm looking too far into it and they really weren't upset that I didn't respond to them. But just know, give me a little bit of time, but I want to give you the worthy response that you deserve. You took the time out to watch my video, maybe. You took the time out to comment. So I want to give you the time to read your comment and reply to your comment with a well thought out response, or at least the best I can. So that's really all. Other than that, thank you all for everything. Go check this movie out. I do recommend it for sure. And till next time, Comic Raiders out, baby. Deuces.